We have some huge developments on the 2024 electoral map in the race between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, so let's break down what the election could look like if it were decided today. Right now, Trump has the momentum, and in tight races like this, momentum is crucial. Given the uncertainty surrounding this year's electoral college bias, national polls don't hold as much weight. Most forecasts suggest that Harris would likely need to win the popular vote by at least 2 to 4 points to have a solid chance at reaching 270 electoral votes. Currently, her lead is at 2.2%, which is on the lower end of that gray area. Ultimately, the only thing that truly matters is that there are 538 electoral votes up for grabs on the 2024 Electoral College map, with 270 needed to win the presidency. As is always the case with the electoral system, most states have been largely ignored this cycle because their outcomes are already a foregone conclusion. According to the latest Decision Desk HQ forecast, 7 states are currently classified as toss-ups, meaning they could go either way. Additionally, 3 more states fall within the lean category, where the race is close, but one candidate holds a slight edge. The remaining 40 states and the District of Columbia each have more than an 80% chance of voting in a particular direction, effectively leaving them out of the calculus for either candidate to reach 270. These toss-ups are the 7 states where Harris and Trump are going to direct pretty much all of their time and resources from now leading up to November 5th. Starting with our first toss-up state, Nevada, Republicans are in a stronger position to flip the silver state than they've been in over 2 decades. Remember, Trump lost Nevada by 2.4% to Hillary Clinton, and then by the same margin to Joe Biden in 2020. This indicates that the state shifted to the right relative to the nation since Biden won the national popular vote by a larger margin than Clinton. In 2022, Republican Joe Lombardo flipped the governor's office, and for the first time in decades, Republicans secured more votes for the U.S. House across Nevada's 4 congressional districts. These pro-Republican trends continued into 2024 when Biden was still in the race, with the final polling average showing Trump ahead by nearly 6 points. However, since Harris took over the Democratic ticket, she has led Trump by 0.2%, a margin that's been holding since late August, though it has gradually narrowed. Still, you have to give it to Kamala Harris here. It's a pretty remarkable turnaround from what the polls looked like for Democrats 3 short months ago. Based upon these polls showing Harris narrowly in front, we'll shift Nevada into the tilt Democrat category on our Electoral College map. Southeast of Nevada lies Arizona, the second closest contest in the 2020 election. Biden narrowly carried the Grand Canyon state by 0.3%, with a raw vote margin of less than 11,000 votes. When people talk about the 2020 election being won by only thousands of votes, this is one of the states that they mean. Along with Georgia and Wisconsin, Trump came within 45,000 cumulative votes of flipping the Electoral College outcome in his favor. The latest polling average here has Trump leading Harris by 1.7%, garnering a 49% vote share here, which is his highest mark since Harris took over in late July. Trump has led in 5 consecutive surveys here, including a Trump +6 result from Siena College and the New York Times. So returning to our Electoral College map, Arizona goes in the tilt Republican category. Moving to the southeast, in Georgia, the closest state in the 2020 election, Biden became the first Democrat to carry the peach state since Bill Clinton in 1992, winning by a razor-thin margin of 0.2%, with 49.5% to Trump's 49.3%, and a raw vote margin of only about 12,000 votes. This win was driven by record turnout and support among black voters in and around Atlanta, but the crosstabs all cycle long have suggested Trump is up significantly among black voters since 2020. And now looking ahead to 2024, the polling average here has Trump ahead by 1.9%. This average had flipped back and forth over the last few months, but is now consistently tilted ever so slightly in Trump's direction since mid-September. Returning to the map, Georgia also finds itself in the tilt Republican column. We have 4 toss-ups left, so let's head to North Carolina, a reliably Republican-leaning state over the last decade. The Tar Heel state has voted Republican in every federal election since 2008, whether for president or U.S. Senate. However, the last 7 of those races were all decided by less than 6 points, making North Carolina consistently competitive and a key state to watch. In 2024, North Carolina is the only toss-up state that voted for Trump in 2020, meaning it's Harris's only real pickup opportunity on the electoral map, as she's mostly on defense elsewhere. The latest polling average here has Trump leading by exactly 1 point based on 51 total polls. The former president is sitting at 48.9% right now over Harris's 47.9%. He has led by around a point or less consistently since August. Again, going back to the map, we'll place North Carolina in the tilt Republican column for Trump. Now Trump's electoral tally rises to 262, putting him within striking distance of 270 electoral votes. He's just one flip away from surpassing that critical number. So let's turn our focus to the Rust Belt, the WIMPA states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, that have voted as one in 8 straight election cycles, backing Democrats in all but one of those elections. In 2016, Trump narrowly flipped all 3, defeating Hillary Clinton by less than a single percentage point in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. However, in 2020, Biden won them back for the Democrats with margins of 1.2%, 2.8%, and 0.6%, respectively. It's essential to remember that if Clinton had carried these 3 states in 2016, she would have won the presidency. Similarly, if Trump had retained these states in 2020, he would be serving a second term, and the 2024 election would look very different, to say the least. Now, these states are once again pivotal this November, as Kamala Harris will likely need to sweep all 3 to reach 270 electoral votes. In terms of the polling here in 2024, Harris has consistently appeared more competitive in the core Rust Belt trio than in any of the Sun Belt states. Again, this is significant because even if Trump wins all 4 battlegrounds in the Sun Belt, Harris could still secure a first term by sweeping the Rust Belt. For those who have been following this channel throughout the cycle, I've consistently expressed skepticism about Harris's chances in Wisconsin, even when she was leading by several points. That's because Wisconsin has seen the 2 largest polling misses underestimating Trump in both 2016 and 2020. Additionally, Wisconsin is the most white and rural of the Rust Belt trio, making it more demographically favorable for Trump, especially if he continues to overperform among the white working class. The latest poll average shows Trump taking the lead here for the first time in months by just half a percentage point based on 59 polls. This marks a significant swing in Trump's favor, as Harris had previously led by as much as 3 to 4 points throughout August and September. Notably, Harris hasn't led in any of the last 6 surveys added to this average. As a result, this state now shifts into the tilt Republican category on our map, officially pushing Trump above the critical 270 mark, landing him at 272. Over in Michigan, Trump has also taken the lead over Harris. She had consistently maintained about an average lead of a point or 2, but now trails Trump by 0.7% based on 56 polls. This is really significant because Michigan is generally considered the bluest of the core Rust Belt trio, having voted for Biden by 2.8% in 2020, and by the narrowest margin in 2016 at just 0.2%, and Democrats have achieved really strong down-ballot victories across the state since 2016 as well. But here in our 2024 map, it joins Wisconsin as tilt Republican. Finally, let's turn to Pennsylvania, our final toss-up. It may just be the most crucial state in the 2024 election cycle. It certainly offers the largest prize among the key battlegrounds, with 19 electoral votes. And according to Nate Silver's presidential forecast, it remains the most likely tipping point state with a 27% chance of deciding the election. Trump won Pennsylvania by 0.7% in 2016, but Biden reclaimed it for the Democrats with a 1.2% victory in 2020. Right now, here in 2024, Harris maintains a very small margin of 0.3% based on 79 polls. More surveys have been conducted and released here in Pennsylvania than any other state, again reflecting its importance. And on the Electoral College map, Pennsylvania will be placed in the tilt Democrat category. So, If the election were held today and the latest polling averages available over on Decision Desk HQ and The Hill prove to be 100% accurate, then Trump would win the Electoral College with 287 electoral votes, ahead of Harris's 251. As always, feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of this map and suggest any other videos or topics you'd like to see in the future. That does it for today's video, though. Shout out to my channel members in the description below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel down below, and please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. You can check out more content from my channel here. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. EP out.